Hey guys, what is up? Today I come to you with my second review of Orange, and it got pretty dark within the very second half of the episode. Later half of the episode, it got pretty dark. And as we know, the story entails it's a shoujo, romance, and sci-fi, and entails where our main character, Naho, she gets letters from her future self 10 years into the future, and she sends these letters detailing to her from the very first day she starts school, she'll end up meeting this transfer student named Kakeru. And from there, she has to ensure that he's happy, he feels welcomed, and try to be as close to him as possible, because eventually later down the road, he's no longer going to be there. And she, along with all of her friends who she's been friends with since childhood, they end up regretting it. So this is where like some type of alternative timeline is gonna pop up and everything. And what's the possibilities of if Naho does not follow by what the letters entails? What type of future will she live up to? Will she still live up to the one that her future self is living, or will it be a total different type of timeline if none of these things occurred? That's possibly what's going through a lot of viewers' minds right now, as well as mine. Now, actually, what happened was Naho, remember the first episode when there was the entrance ceremony, she did not follow the letter the very first time. When the letter said for her not to invite Kakeru, she actually invited him. And I'm going to get into that in a little deeper detail. Now, the letter that she has in this episode was telling her to basically make Kakeru a lunch, because he was talking about, my mom, she doesn't have time to make lunch. And in her letter saying that she wanted to make lunch for him, but she didn't, and she ended up regretting it. So that's what she does. She does make Kakeru his lunch and was going to give it to him the next day. But here she's hesitating. She's not giving him the lunch. She makes it, unlike her other self who possibly did not make the lunch at all. She makes it, but she's hesitant to give it to him. And then she also goes on saying she wished she never read the letter. But this letter is telling her, like, you have to make friends with Kakeru. You have to make sure that he's okay, he's fine, he has friends and everything. And she doesn't give him the lunch for quite a while, until the part where they're walking, the part where they decide when school is over, they decide to walk in, they get to know each other a little bit better, because they've been surrounded by their friends for so long, they never got like any alone time to get to know each other on a one-on-one basis. So they do a little questioning with each other, asking where they live, what type of hobbies they have. And it got so dark to the point where on the day of the entrance ceremony, we find out that Kakeru's mother committed suicide. She didn't just die of natural cause, she died because of suicide. And it was funny how the way he was talking about his mother early in the episode, because the way when like they were talking about the lunches, he kind of diverted himself. You see him hesitant, like not wanting to respond, but nonetheless he said his mom doesn't make him lunch. And the reason for that is because his mom committed suicide on the day he was supposed to move, and the day of the entrance ceremony. And he made a promise to his mother, his dead mother, that he would never join a club. That's why he was so hesitant to tell, what's his name again? I forgot his name for a good second. But Kakeru, whatever his name is, the one with the orange hair, that's why he was so hesitant to respond to him saying that he'll join the soccer teams, because of the promise he made to his mother. Now, knowing how Naho, she broke one of the, following the letters. She did not follow what the letter said to invite him. She invited him along with her friends when they went out to go get the bakery goods in the first episode. Originally, she was never supposed to, because of that same cause. His mother committed suicide, and then there was a funeral that was going to happen. And that's why Kakeru also, I guess, it leads up to him missing school for at least 2 weeks. So it got pretty dark during that time. And from there we see where Naho made the promise saying that she'll continuously every day make lunch for him and, you know, try to be with him and talk to him on the phone, and anytime he feels down or anything, she'll always try to be a lending ear to him, which cheers him up immensely because this kid now has no relatives. He has no one to rely on, and he's pretty lonely despite all the smiles and everything that he puts on his face. I mean, your parent committed suicide. That has to take a toll on a child and in their life. And I guess this also leads up to depression and how he's going to feel throughout the rest of the year. And the most depressing thing about this episode was in the winter of Kakeru's 17th birthday, the letter entails that he will die. He did not survive. Some type of accident or incident happened, and it led up to Kakeru's death. So what Naho has to do now is she has to find some way, as long as she follows what the letter says, she has to find some way in order to prevent his death, because in the letter it said that she did not prevent it. She was capable of doing it, but she did not do it. And that's possibly the hugest regret that she'll ever have. And that's why she's sending these letters to her past self in order to do so. Make Kakeru happy while at the same time preventing what's going to lead to his ultimate death. Also, when I did mention in last week's first impression / review, that baby that Naho was with is actually indeed her baby. So she and I'll get his name the next time, but that is their child. And I did say something like how she wants to make Kakeru alive, bring him back and everything. And we see that possibly she may have feelings for Kakeru or something. So how it was kind of messed up. So if Kakeru does end up surviving this time, is there a possibility that this child will not exist and she and her friend Hagita will not get together in a different type of alternative timeline, and instead it's going to be her and Kakeru? I mean, yes, at the same time you want to save your friend, you don't want to live with this regret, but at the same time this child will no longer exist. So it's kind of messed up. No matter how you want to put it, it's kind of messed up how this whole thing is working out, and I can't wait to see future episodes and how this is going to entail, and if Naho is going to thoroughly follow by what her future self instructed her to do in order to prevent such tragedy from happening. So that being said, if you saw this week's episode of Orange, do tell me your thoughts and opinions on that. Tell me, will you continue watching this, or will you put it on hold, or will you drop it? What are your future hopes for this series as more episodes continue to show? I'd love to hear that from you guys. Love to read that. The links are in the description box, so you guys go check that out. And I'm Kimmy Chan of Anime Legends Podcast, and I will see you guys later. Bye!